Hi, Jacqueline Foster here of Feeling Good TV, the place to visit when you're really yearning to make an impact without sacrificing your desires for passion and pleasure. About a month ago, I was feeling exhausted. I was feeling really burnt out, and I was not experiencing passion or pleasure in my life. I was experiencing doing, and feeling tired most of the time. Perhaps you can relate. But one thing that I noticed and had awareness of at the same time is, oh my gosh, I know that pleasure and passion is important, and I've seen how different pieces have helped in my life. How can I get this back? So I was challenged to a 2-week pleasure vacation, which didn't mean me taking time off from work. I continued to do my job, and I continued to maintain my commitments. But outside of that, instead of pushing to do more, my challenge was to find pleasure, to experience pleasure, and to pursue the activities that brought more pleasure into my life. And I want to share one big realization that I had that is really important and an amazing reminder for us all. And this is that pleasure takes practice. Pleasure takes practice. Oftentimes when we think of pleasure, we think of something, I used to think of something that should just come naturally, and that's pleasure, right? Pleasure doesn't take any work, but it actually does. And the reason that it does is productivity and doing things and being busy is about getting things done, about shutting everything off for the sake of getting something done. What pleasure requires of us is that we feel, that we tap into our senses, our sensation. And it is very different from that normal drive of productivity that we're used to. And because it's different, it requires practice. That's the only reason. It's because it's different, it requires practice. So, and you can even think, the reason I want to talk about sensation being so important with pleasure is think about for a moment a walk on the beach. That walk could be very different if it's a pleasure-driven walk or if it's a productivity-driven walk. For example, maybe if it's productivity, all right, I have to walk 30 minutes a day. I need this for my exercise. I'm going to walk, but the whole time I'm walking, I'm thinking about what I have to do during the day. Even if it's on the beach or somewhere super beautiful, if that walk is not about feeling and being present and in the sensation of your body, I doubt it's going to be very pleasurable. But if that walk is about feeling your feet in the sand and listening to the waves, hearing the birds, feeling the wind on your skin, it is very, very different, and it's going to be a lot more of a pleasurable experience. If not the first time, when you're getting used to that, over time, it's very pleasurable to be in that space of sensation and presence. So I encourage you to think about this and ask yourself where you are in your pleasure practice. Is practicing pleasure something that's a part of your normal routine, or is it something that you continue to put to the side and leave for later? And what I encourage you to do with that reflection is to infuse pleasure into one activity in your life, but whether it be one thing you do a day or one thing you do a week, to be present, to feel, to notice sensation as you're doing it, and to cultivate that practice of bringing pleasure into your life. And being gentle with yourself in knowing that pleasure is a practice, that feeling sensation is a practice. And I'd love to know as well what you do when you are struggling with this drive for productivity and wanting to infuse more pleasure into your life. What do you do to bring yourself back? What do you do to infuse more pleasure into your life? So it's always a joy to share with you. If you enjoyed this video, you can come over to JacquelineLaceyFoster.com for more videos, and you can also find me on hertube.tv. Wishing you an amazing day and looking forward to sharing more. Thanks so much.